Good evening, everyone. Call a meeting to order. Greenfield City Council, August 26th, 2025. Roll call, please. We have Missy Ann.
Oh.
We can't do that yet. For a minute, didn't see she was here. Luann, we're ready for roll call.
Oh, sorry,
That's okay.
forgot the letters. Mayor White,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Rodriguez, Councilmember Ortiz,
Here.
Councilmember Jones,
Here.
Councilmember Garcia.
Here.
Excuse council member absences. This agenda item allows city council to excuse the absences of council members not present at the meeting. If all council members are present, of course, we would skip it. Public comments on this item? Seeing none, we did get a call. Mayor Pro Tem is not feeling well, so we let them excuse her, please. Need a motion?
Motion that.
Need a second?
Okay.
Motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Thank you. We have invocation tonight, yeah,
No, I think it is.
okay. Will you all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Ready, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Been hard.
That was hard.
Off there. All right. We'll move to agenda review.
No changes, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. Public comments from the audience regarding items not on the agenda. This portion of the agenda allows an individual the opportunity to address the council on any item not on closed session, consent calendar, public hearings, and city council business. Under state regulation, no action can be taken on non-agenda items, including the issues raised under this agenda item. Members of the public should be aware of this when addressing council regarding items not specifically referenced on this agenda. Do we have any public comments tonight?
Does that work?
You're on.
All right. Hello, I'm Dr. Lourdes Villarreal. I've been a homeowner in Greenfield for 35 years. I've come to make you aware of 4 issues. Number 1, in the past year, I've attended city council meetings and have met with city staff, and
Okay.
police department personnel due to my neighbors denying me space to put out my trash cans in front of my own house. The problem has gotten worse. On Thursday, August the 21st, I came home from a doctor's appointment in Salinas to find that the 2 trash cans that I had taken out for pickup the next day had been removed and placed in my driveway. This brings me to the second issue. The problem of vehicles being left abandoned in front of my house has also gotten worse. The day my 2 trash cans were removed, I had placed one of them in the small space up against the end of my driveway because there was an abandoned vehicle in front of my house. The other trash can I had placed in front of the abandoned vehicle, far away enough not to be blamed for any damages. I took pictures. The third issue is the negative attitude and response that I have received from the police department for reporting or actually attempting to report these problems. I have become the enemy for the police department, unfortunately. An annoyance, a bother. The day that I tried to report the removal of my trash cans, I was met with sarcasm and disrespect. The officer refused to come to my house. It's not a crime for people to remove trash cans, he said. I wanted to show him the pictures I had taken. Why take pictures? Because Tri-City Waste Management has warned me that they will not pick up my trash cans because they are too close to vehicles. But it's the neighbors who squeeze in between spaces up against my trash cans. I must pay for services that I have to fight to get. Fourth, the city and the police department have taken a Band-Aid approach to the horrible vehicle problem that Greenfield residents are left on their own to figure out. You know this because I came to you many times last year. I don't need a senior day to tell me how wonderful it is to be one, at least not here in Greenfield and not for me. What I need is for the city and the police department to protect my well-being and provide safe spaces to leave out the trash to be picked up. After all, again, I pay for these services. I'm obligated to pay for these services. I should have a safe space where I can do so. Thank you very much for your attention to this matter.
Thank you for your comment.
Hello, okay. Good evening, Mayor, council members, city staff. My name is Jasmine Venegas, and I am the Government Affairs Representative for the Central Coast Division at Pacific Gas and Electric, PG&E. I just wanted to stop by and say hello, introduce myself for the record. I have not had the opportunity to meet most of you. I did have a chance to meet with the mayor this morning. Thank you for your time. I look forward to getting to meet you and learning about your priorities. I've met with city manager and public works director, and I look forward to continuing the working relationship. I am somewhat new to the role. I came in November of last year, so I'm working my way around the different cities. Look forward to learning more about Greenfield. Essentially, if you have any questions about anything related to PG&E, I am your point of contact. I'm responsible for finding out the information you need or connecting you with the right person. One of the main roles I play is updating you if we have a significant power outage that is impacting the community. I sort of play a comms role in that respect, and you can and should reach out to me if in these situations, if you are looking for updates. But really anything related to PG&E, I can help you navigate how to get information. So you've gotten my emails. Hopefully I've been able to match a name to a face. My contact information is in there. So please feel free to save my information and my phone number, always available by call and text. In that spirit, I commit to being responsive, honest, and direct about all situations we may encounter. And I look forward to that working relationship. Thank you again so much.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. I come tonight in assistance to a property owner that's been unsuccessful getting a simple fence permit from the city. Her name is Nicole Pedroncelli, and she's here tonight. I met with her and Laura Morales on the property at 10th Street and Maple Avenue. And a 15-foot setback seems to be the question that you'll probably hear from her support tonight and from her and Laura about a 15-foot setback that is required by the city. I've been researching other cities in California, Nevada, and Arizona, and 10-foot seems pretty normal instead of 15 feet. 15 feet, to my estimation, seems like it's the taking of property, because if you do the math, 15% of her lot, which is 55 feet by 100, it's 26 or more percent of her property for 15% or 15-foot setback. So I think there needs to be some cooperation from the city. I reviewed 9th Street, 10th Street, and part of 11th Street on because her lot is unique. It's a corner lot. And so I reviewed with my experience of public works at the county for over 27 years. I reviewed lots very similar or the same as hers. And I've seen 2-foot setbacks, 5-foot setbacks, 7-foot setbacks, and 10-foot setbacks. So I don't know if that was a consulting firm or some suggestion from one of your contractors to put in 15 feet. Kind of sounds good, I guess, but I'm here in support for that. She's willing to potentially, if there is a variance program or a variance process, I know there's a fee attached to that, looking at the other cities in the valley and the county. So she's willing to go in that direction. It's a little bit more lengthy, but I think overall, the public safety is an issue because there's 2 police department reports and incidents on her property for people being drunk, people being high, people running around in the back of her property. So all she's trying to do is to secure her property for her family and herself. And the other part too, as former mayor, is the investment that she's making in our city. That's quite substantial, bringing up that property at the corner of 10th and Maple to what it is today. So just some cooperation from the city, and thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments.
My name is Nicole. Can I hand these to you or do I have to give them to Ann?
So give it to Ann if you don't mind.
I'll print these out for you so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. So over a year now, I've been trying to put a fence in my property. The problem is that with the 3-foot fence that I have now, it's not very secure for safety. I live there on my own. And I've had some run-ins with some homeless in my backyard. It's a very big concern, safety reason for me. I went to the city and I had 2 permits denied. So I changed my permits and I had them re-fenced so it was set back from 15 feet away from the corner lot where in the first picture, if you see where the flag is to the left of the fence, I had to cut the corner. There was 2 city workers came out to my home and told me that the neighbor behind me signed off on the permit on my application and that I cut that corner, I could go 15 feet up and across to the middle of my property, which the fencing would be 31% of my yard. That would be unfenced. And so I wasn't very happy with that. So then I waited and I called a few contractors, licensed contractors, and they knew the rules and they says normally it's a 10-foot setback. So I asked Paul at City Hall if he could come out to my home and meet with me, him and Evelyn, and they came out and they says that no, they're wrong what they're telling me, that it is a 15-foot setback. And so I would have to cut, if you look down on the left side of the fence where the tree is, where the picnic table is in the backyard and the clothesline, I would have to cut my property that far up from the fence. So my concern or my request to you is how is that fair and right when you go to the next page? And this is on Ventana, the permits were signed on this fence. It looks identical to my house of a 6-foot fence with a 5 feet by a licensed contractor. The city signed the permit. I knocked on their door and asked them. And this was 3 years ago, permitted. If you look at the third page, these are the homes, the newer homes over there by Patriot Park. They're 5 feet and 2 feet from the property line, not 15 feet back. These are corner lots with north and east stop signs with a runway on Elm. If you look on Elm Avenue, it's the same thing. It's also across from me. They're across on the right-hand side of 8th Street. They didn't do a permit. They signed off. They were going to sign off on the permit with a 6-foot fence, but they said that they were going to put lattice on top of the cement wall. And so they fought it for several months with the city. And guess what? They signed off on it and it's illegal. So we can't pick and choose. And I don't want to be up here blaming or trying to, show them what they're doing wrong. I'm here out of being a homeowner. I'm a resident here. I want to make my home for my family and I need safety. And I'm asking you guys to help me with the rules, the legal rules. We need somebody like Brent to come out maybe, or somebody higher than Paul, with no disrespect, to tell us the rules, because the 15 feet setback is very, I've been told different.
Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate it. We'll look into it.
Thank you for your time.
I'm here supporting Nicole also, okay? She needs some safety, some security on her property, okay? There have been some issues, and law enforcement here, the city is aware of it. And there's even been restraining orders put out on some of these individuals. And that was put in place by the district attorney's office, okay? And she needs some help, okay? Other property owners, she's not asking anything out of the ordinary. She's asking to be treated the same as other property owners here in our city who were able to get permits and build a secure fence for the safety of their family, okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
Welcome.
Members of the mayor and the city council and the city manager. Today I come in because I know the pharmacy in Greenfield to move. A lot of people right now it went to Salinas or Soledad. Some of those people is a senior citizen. You don't have sometimes you don't have the car to move to Soledad or Salinas. I need to bring to come in a big pharmacy for lower people. I mean, the medicine, the cheaper medicine for the people, especially for the Greenfield. If somebody go to Salinas to buy a medicine, it's expensive. If you go to Soledad, you don't get no car. It's very important to bring another pharmacy, a big pharmacy. You need it. Because the Greenfield is not a little town. Greenfield is a big town. You don't understand it. Because a lot of people in Greenfield doesn't have no cars. Doesn't get to move. I need somebody to buy a medicine. Think it.
Thank you very much.
Because you right now celebrating the senior citizen. Not a senior citizen in Greenfield doesn't have no car. Bring a big pharmacy, no small pharmacy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day, City Council. My name is Laura, and I'm also here in support of Nicole. I've been working with her already like 3 months with this permit application for her fencing. I think every time there's new staff, there's misleading information. Really, nobody knows what are the rules on the policy book. I myself applied to 7 different permits on my housing when I do updates on my house. And every time I come, there's somebody different and they tell me other policy on the books. So I think we should give security and privacy to homeowners that are coming and applying for our permits. It is in your best interest to encourage homeowners to come and apply for permits. We're keeping record. And instead of having people just doing random things in their properties, there's no security. If you go around town, there's a lot of fences meeting right on the sidewalk, 3 feet, 2 feet. It's all over the place. And in a way that makes our city look ugly as well. I know Nicole from PTA from school. She's a person that likes to volunteer to help out people, but now this is a time where we should help out people like her. So we want to keep her in town. These are the people that make our city look better. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Carlos Venegas. I'm a representative of Greenfield, longtime resident of Greenfield, born and raised here, also a veteran in this community. I have two issues right now that I want to bring up. One of them is, yes, I am here in support of Nicole. Safety is priority for a lot of us. Safety is everything for her. She has kids. Why don't you make that a priority for her? You know, for her and her kids. She is a single mother and she just wants the best for her kids and she just wants a backyard. And let's just give it to her. Second point is November 11th, Veterans Day. We're here to support veterans. It's a day of thanks for active duty and non-active duty, but also just to give the ones that are still here, you know, to support them. We are going to do a Veterans Day parade here in Greenfield. Myself is on that flyer and so is the commander. There is a lot of things in the works right now about that and it's it's time consuming. Also, we are limited to certain people at our lounge. We are open to the public to come and hang out, have a good time, watch football games, chit chat, you know, socialize with each other and get to know each other. I already talked to the captain and the chief about Veterans Day, so you know they're here to support us. Also, 9/11, we will be doing a breakfast for all the first responders. So, Cap, you want to let Chief know? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? I don't see any hands raised, correct? No. Right. All right, we will move on to comment from City Council.
I don't have anything. Good evening. I just have a couple things. I have to find my notes because my memory doesn't always work. I've noticed in the news all these beautiful murals that are being displayed and people are being invited to go see murals anywhere from Carmel to Watsonville, Soledad, Salinas, and King City. And I know even here in Greenfield, we have some really, really beautiful murals and possible more. So in viewing all these murals, well, it reminded me of the time when I was at Fresno State. I won't tell you the whole story because I might get arrested on my stories. Just kidding. But while I was at Fresno State, I did take some art classes, and part of it was to learn about a culture. We learned to paint murals, and then the cities would invite the students to their cities to paint murals, and the owners of the shops would provide all the paint. And so the artists would come. I was an artist for a day. And we got to paint murals in these small towns. And that's the San Joaquin Valley, which reminds me of the Salinas Valley. We have lots of small towns or small cities or big cities with lots of people and lots of artists. And I see it happening and it's starting to develop. And I thought maybe Greenfield, we are the heart of the valley. Maybe we become the art of the valley and continue to increase the murals in our city. But wouldn't it be great if we could come up with an event that connects all our cities and murals and even like a map? We want people to get off the freeway. We want them to come and see us. So why can't we have sort of a map that will guide visitors to all our beautiful murals, maybe encourage more murals, and then include and go on to Soledad and look at their beautiful murals and go on to even Chular and just up and down our valley and bring more attention to our valley. And I don't know, I could see big things like an invitational and competitions and maybe sculptures and so many more things we could do. Kind of like a wine tasting tour, but a mural arts tasting tour. I also went to the Salinas Valley Solid Waste Authority meeting workshop, which was a beautiful 4.5 hours long. And they covered very important points for planning. And planning doesn't mean for tomorrow or even for 5 years. We really need to, when we talk about planning, it's 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. You can't wait until 40 years is passed and say, now we're going to do something. So it just reminded me of all the things that Greenfield is going through as well. And it takes time, but we do need to plan for growth, for natural disasters, for rates. We have to take into consideration politics, our regulations, technology, climate change, health and safety. So it was 4.5 of wonderful information, but Greenfield is not that far behind of having to plan for the future. And we do need to look out. What is Greenfield going to look like in 40 years? Thank you.
Thank you. Rachel? Yep.
Good evening. I have a couple of things to talk about tonight. I did want to let the community know that I do read the social media, and I know there was some concerns over some miscommunication about the last council meeting. And I have talked to our city manager about that and told him that anytime meetings are canceled, that as soon as they find out about it, to notify the public right away, post it on social media so that everybody knows. There's really no other way for the community to find out other than social media. They can't email everybody and call everybody. So I've asked that they do post it on social media. So, you know, maybe through the grapevine, everybody finds out that the meeting has been canceled. Also on August 7th, the mayor and I attended Salinas Valley Speaks, which was the Salinas Valley Chamber of Commerce. They had an event at Braga Farms in Soledad. 4 mayors, the mayors of the South County spoke that day, and our county supervisor, Chris Lopez, was there. It was a really well-attended event. There was a lot of very important people there and a lot of information, a lot of really good connections were made. They talked a lot about, you know, the Salinas Valley, and we are part of the Salinas Valley. And we're not, sometimes we feel isolated over here, but, you know, I think that's about to change. I met some really great people that night, and one of the, 2 of the ladies that I met were from the Relay for Life. And through different emails, phone conversations, they asked me if I would be willing to paint our town purple, which in other words means we put purple ribbons out to support survivors of cancer and the people that we've lost to cancer. I asked the city manager if it was okay, and our public works, and everything was given the go-ahead. So over the weekend, myself and other chamber members put ribbons throughout town. So that's just the start of it. On Thursday night, Mayor and I will also be attending the Paint the Town Purple event at the National Steinbeck Center at 6 o'clock. It's going to be the kickoff party for the event, and so we're really looking forward to it. It's going to be pretty exciting to meet a lot of survivors, and they've taken down the military banners and have put banners up for the people who have lost their life to cancer. So if you get an opportunity to be in Salinas downtown, you might want to go by and check that out. What else? Carlos had mentioned that about the parade. So the city of Salinas will not be putting on the Veterans Parade this year. And the veterans, our Veteran Hall and American Legion Post 635 spoke to other posts, and they decided that they're going to go ahead and they're going to do it here. So it'll be on November 11th from starting at 2 o'clock, and it will go down from Memorial Hall down to Elm Avenue, and then turn around and come back. And then at the hall, they'll be having a barbecue. They do have a lounge there also now, so people can go in and have a drink or frosty beverage. And so we're pretty excited about that. Normally, there's probably about 20,000 people that attend in Salinas. I don't think we're going to get 20,000 people here, but it's a really good opportunity for our merchants to show what they have to offer in our community. There will be there's a memorial service at the Veterans Memorial at Seaside, and that's at 11 o'clock. And then after that, the cars and the motorcycles, they will come from Seaside and make their way all the way down here to Greenfield. When they arrive in Greenfield, then they will start the parade and go downtown. So it's going to be pretty exciting. I've talked to some of the people in Salinas. They will be having an event there, but it will be at the Armory, and it's going to be for about an hour to 2 hours. And then a lot of them are thinking about coming down this way. So I think it's really great for our community. And along with that, our banner program, our Hometown Hero banner program, we should have the banners up by November 1st in time for the parade. And we will be launching the fundraising event for that, and it'll be on social media. We will have that up probably sometime this week already, and it'll have all the details, and we do have a website, so you can log in and contribute if you want to. We'd prefer that nobody pays for their own banner, but rather just contribute so we can buy all the banners together. They're going to be 30 feet wide and 75 feet tall, 75 inches now tall. So they are quite big, and they'll be double-sided. So it will have, they're still doing the mock-up on it, but it's pretty exciting. And they'll have the faces of, for Veterans Day, it'll be all the veterans who are still with us. At Memorial Day, we'll have veterans who are no longer with us. So that's really exciting too. Let me see. I just got a message regarding our Day of Thanks, which we'll be doing it again this year on November 23rd. And we have all our donations for our food. Not to say we're not taking other donations, but our food donations, we now have 60 turkeys and 30 hams. We have approximately enough food to feed anywhere from 800 to 850 people. So we'll be getting that out into the media and to the other cities to get involved in that. And I think that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have a few things. Just want to remind everyone, the community yard sale is August 30th and 31st, which is this weekend. Get your permits for 50% off. Does not count towards your two-a-year limit. So good chance to get out and raise a little funds for yourself. To go along with that, Greenfield Cleanup Day is September the 6th. So if you don't sell it, you can dispose of it. So, so that's also coming up. That'll be at the Corporation Yard at 920 Walnut Avenue. As Councilwoman Ortiz mentioned, I attended the Salinas Valley Chamber event in Soledad. Mayors from Salinas Valley, we spoke about our vision for our communities. I spoke about how we are really trying to build our community pride and spirit. I emphasize that with all these events that we're doing, the Veterans Day Parade, all the different Witches Ride, all the different things that are going on. We're really trying to build community spirit. So that was my emphasis. I attended on August 2nd. I attended the Speaker Robert Rivas had a town hall meeting in King City. I reminded him again about our wastewater treatment plant problems, and he said he was very aware of it. So he's heard it from us a lot of times. So Paul and I have been to Sacramento and on the phones and emailing the water board and our state senator and our assemblyman trying to get support for our new wastewater treatment plant. So we're trying to obtain that funding. And of course, this weekend is a holiday weekend. There's a lot of stuff going on. There is, I believe, a car show Saturday over at the Memorial Hall. There is the gazebo market also on Saturday down on the other end of town, and then the flea market back on this end on Sunday. So lots of stuff to do this weekend if you're looking for activities. And that's what I have. Thank you very much. We'll move to consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered routine and may be approved by one action of the city council unless a request for removal or from discussion or explanation is received prior to the time council votes on the motion to adopt. Do we have any public comments on consent items? Seeing none, I don't see any hands raised. I'll entertain a motion to approve or open it for question. Okay. Move to approve?
Yeah.
Need a second?
Second.
Then moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? All right, thank you. Now move to mayor's presentations and proclamations. We have one tonight. Proclamation of City Council of the City of Greenfield proclaiming August 21st, 2025 as Senior Citizen Day. Whereas National Senior Citizens Day was established by President Ronald Reagan through Proclamation 5847 on August 19th, 1988, recognizing August 21st each year as the day to honor the achievements and contributions of older Americans. And whereas this observance aims to raise awareness of the challenges seniors face, including healthcare, financial insecurity, and social isolation, while celebrating the wisdom, dedication, and volunteerism seniors contribute to families and communities. And whereas seniors possess a wealth of knowledge, experience, and perspective that enriches civic life and bridges generational divides. And whereas the city of Greenfield recognizes that a significant portion of its population comprises individuals aged 65 and older who have played a vital role in making Greenfield a strong, inclusive, and vibrant community. And whereas the city strives to honor and show appreciation for Greenfield senior residents and encourage community members to support initiatives that enhance senior quality of life. And whereas the city council continues to uphold our mission, we are committed to improving the quality of life in the city of Greenfield by strengthening our neighborhoods, delivering superior service, embracing the diversity of our citizens, and making Greenfield a desirable, safe city in which to live, work, raise a family, shop, study, play, and grow old. Now, therefore, I, Robert White, Mayor of the City of Greenfield, do hereby proclaim August 21st, 2025 as National Senior Citizens Day. Okay. Do we have anybody to accept this?
I almost qualify, don't I?
Two. Barely, but. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the proclamation of the senior citizen today. I expecting you work together for the senior citizen, because the senior citizen of Greenfield, we need help and need a place like a senior center in Greenfield. I would like to, the senior center is in the Patriota Park for starter. Yeah, you need something. A lot of people make it the senior citizen about everybody learn something. The senior citizen learn something. Thank you for your help.
Thank you.
My name is Aurora Benavides. I live on 1092 Apple Avenue, and I just also want to say thank you. Thank you to the committee for senior citizens. It's been a pleasure attending the meetings, the getting information out to the seniors. And I'm hoping that we have something like, I also go to Salinas to the hub, and it's Alliance on Aging. And they have a place where seniors can just go and do coloring or watch a movie because they can't go to the movie theater. And so they provide all kinds of activities for the seniors who are on wheelchairs and or otherwise can't get out of the house. So I'm hoping that we can do something like that here, where they can not just go to the social or, but also just go and talk to somebody and just go in and color and do all kinds of other activities that, daily activities. Okay, so, but thank you very much to the committee for the seniors.
Can I say something? Thank you to the group, the Fabiola, to work very hard.
Right, we'll move on with business. We'll go move to K1, second reading and adoption of an ordinance of the City Council, City of Greenfield, establishing a temporary moratorium on the issuance of building permits requiring a new wastewater connection or that will result in increased wastewater flow to the City of Greenfield wastewater treatment plant. Staff report, please.
Good evening, Mayor White and City Council. This item, as you mentioned, is the second reading of an ordinance to establish a building moratorium in the City of Greenfield. Ordinarily, the second reading of an ordinance adoption is on the consent agenda, but because this is a really important and controversial issue, we've put it on the regular agenda to give the public an opportunity to make public comment and for the City Council to discuss. I can give a high-level overview of what's included in the ordinance, but you've heard all of this before. So essentially, the ordinance will say that no building permits will be issued by the city for construction that will impact the city's wastewater system until the ordinance has been repealed. It will allow all new and pending applications for building permits, so the city will continue to accept applications and review the applications. They just will not issue the permit. The exceptions that are included in the ordinance are projects that currently have a valid building permit on the date that the ordinance takes effect, projects with a valid court order from a competent jurisdiction requiring completion of the project, construction necessary for the implementation, establishment, repair, or maintenance of the wastewater treatment plant itself, construction of grant-funded projects where grant funding eligibility will be compromised if building permits are not issued, and construction necessary for the immediate preservation of the health and safety of the public. So those are the exceptions, but other than that, the moratorium will establish a time period where the city will not issue new building permits that impact the wastewater treatment plant. In addition, the city staff will be working on drafting and implementing an interim capacity management plan. And the goal of that plan is to make improvements to the sewer system that will improve the condition at the wastewater treatment plant temporarily until the upgrade can be completed. And the staff will revisit the city council at a minimum of every 6 months to discuss the effectiveness of that plan and determine whether or not the moratorium needs to continue. And with that, I currently also, we have sent the draft ordinance to HCD, who's required to approve it, at least with respect to housing development. And so they are currently conducting their review process of the moratorium. And with that, I can answer any questions you may have. And also there's other city staff here who can answer your more technical questions.
All right. I think let's go ahead and move it to public comments on this item.
Mayor White, I just want to let you know about the 2 letters that were forwarded.
Yes.
Just want to put in the record that we received one from Monterey Bay Economic Partnership, as well as People Self-Help Housing.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor, for the opportunity. I disagree with 4 under the proposed ordinance. It says, number 4 says construction of grant-funded projects where grant funding eligibility will be compromised if building permits are not issued. Then there's added language. I didn't see this in the last ordinance draft. It says, it should be noted that projects that fall within the 4th exception will be issued building permits, but will not be authorized to connect to the city sewer system while the building moratorium is in place. I don't get that, because you have a lot of the community, more specifically where I'm going on the grant funded project is the city's recreation center. So you're saying in a sense that we can't build the recreation center because we can't hook up sewer and water. But if you took the average usage of the sewer and water from a city with a population as Greenfield, you would probably see that the water use in the sewer is probably minimal. So why would you put that in there? Only reason for me, which, call me crazy, but is that there's more further delay of the building of the recreation center. And I disagree with this. And I've been keeping my eye on it very closely, because I knew this was going to come up. I've been coming out to city council meetings now for about 8-9 months pretty regularly. And I disagree with this language, Mayor and City Council. I think it shouldn't even be there, because there's been a lot of people, a lot of your staff has worked hard to get the Prop 68 $8.5 million grant. I know the city is looking at another grant for $6 million from state parks. That'll bring the budget up to $14.5 million. You add about $1.5 million of some revenues from the city. That's about $16 million. And you're probably there. If you look at what Marina High School did with their gymnasium, it came under about $15 million. So that's where I'm going. I'm talking specific about one project. There's probably others that I don't know about, grant funded. And so, but I disagree with this language. I don't know what you're all going to come up with, but thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much.
Hi, good evening, Mayor White,
Good evening.
council members, staff. My name is Emily Baranek. I'm here this evening representing People's Self-Help Housing. We are a nonprofit for ownership self-help builder with a project that's been working its way through your process for the last, I want to say 5 years. We really appreciate the opportunity to be here this evening. I'm new to the organization and am generally an affordable for purchase home ownership advocate, and I'm really glad to be with People's Self-Help. But I have to admit, I was not aware of this impending deadline. So just again appreciative of the opportunity to come speak with you this evening and want to just let you know that our project, for those of you who may not have been on the council when it came before you previously, is a affordable for ownership project at 296 Apple Avenue between Cesar Chavez Elementary School and the community park. We are very proud to be bringing the potential for 34 new affordable home for purchase to Greenfield families. And with that intent, submitted original applications in March of 21. We have been, like I said, working through your process since then. And as of today, are still waiting for a final map, recordation and public improvement plan permit award. For your reference, these were, as far as we were concerned, approved December of last year. We were ready at that time as well to submit for building permit applications and have been waiting some 8 months now to move forward in that process. So we're here in the hopes of asking you to consider a request for exemption to the moratorium for R34 for ownership, affordable, low income and very low income homes, which has been, like I said, a dream of ours for a long time and a dream of the communities for a long time. If the exemption or exception to that request is not possible, we'd also love the opportunity to talk about other opportunities or options for our project, as it obviously will pose quite a significant issue for us and our potential homeowners. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Sorry. Hi, good evening. My name is Veronica Zimmerman Garcia. I'm Chief Real Estate Development Officer for People's Self-Help Housing. Good evening, Mayor White, members of the City Council. I'm here to express real concern about the proposed moratorium on the issuance of building permits because of the impacts to our project, which has been working its way through the city's entitlement process for several years. Our organization has pending financial commitments to the project that will be jeopardized due to the proposed ordinance, including grants that we secured to deliver the housing and administer the program, and financing that we obtained to secure the property. We have a loan that will be due. The maturity date was September 1st. Our intention was to have secured building permits by now, and have this particular kind of affordable housing is eligible for the USDA self-help, mutual self-help program, which is how our organization got started. That program could fund up to $27 million to fund the construction of for sale homes for eligible buyers. And we respectfully request that council continue this matter for further consideration, or at a minimum confirm that the 296 Apple Avenue project will be exempt from the proposed moratorium as a sufficiently in progress affordable housing project. We do not have building permits yet, but we would pull building permits tomorrow if we had the ability to proceed. There's some conditions that the city still needs to meet in order for our subdivision map to record. This is not a typical affordable housing project. We have a subdivision map because it's a single family for sale development. We only learned of this proposed moratorium a couple of weeks ago and have only just been able to find counsel to help assist us and review the impacts. But at an initial level, we do have significant legal questions and concerns, among others, particularly because this is an affordable housing project that would essentially be derailed and shut down by the moratorium, including housing element law, which we discussed in our letter. We think that the proposal moratorium risks placing the city in conflict with state housing law, which could risk certification of the city's housing element. I assume that's already been considered, but that also could expose the city to builder's remedy. Also, as noted in our letter, government code guarantees that projects like ours be prioritized for water and sewer services, and it's unclear to us how this proposed moratorium complies with that, as well as CEQA. Thank you again for the opportunity to speak. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Any other comments? Seeing none online either, I'll bring it back to council. Questions, reviews? Comments?
Has not been an easy time to these past few weeks especially. Have met with a lot of people, a lot of our community members, receiving letters. I hear the concern. It's so hard to figure out the right answer for everybody. I can't find one that takes care of everybody. So if Greenfield, the people who are alive and breathing and living here right now, were my family, if we were just one house and this was happening, I would do everything possible to help the people who are in my house. That's what we want to do. And at the same time, when you're working with helping your family, you know, you're thinking about, well, what about the future? Your grandkids, your great grandkids, et cetera, et cetera. So trying to figure out what's the best solution or answer. I can't find one that will take care of the present people living here, the future, and that's my struggle, is that we all want to help everybody. And the questions I was asking or want to know is for us who have to make a decision, do we have deadlines that we want to meet? Because we don't want to miss out, just like investors don't want to miss out on a deadline that we delayed something, therefore we lost money, we lost funding, we lost the opportunity, or we were dropped from a list because we held back. And now there's somebody else who's ready to move on and they could use that money today. That's the hard part of figuring out who do we help. So I guess the question is, who do we help and when do we want to help them?
Right. Okay. I just want to say, we do not take this lightly. This is not our first choice, believe me. This is no small thing. This is a huge thing. We have so many things going on, but we've got blindsided not once, but twice on this project. We were promised a completely paid for plant. We've been working on this plant for 5 years. We've got a shovel-ready plant ready to go. And last year, budget cycle came around. They said, we don't have the money for it. So your 100% funding is gone. So then in November, we get word that we've had a few leaks out of our plant. And so the Regional Water Board reduced our capacity from 1.5 million gallons to 1.2 million gallons, just like that overnight. So we have two things that are working against us. And I think we need to implement this because if not, we're putting the city at risk for future legal problems. If we have a spill out there of any size, we're going to be at financial risk. So that's just we just kind of have hit an unfortunate spot. And this plant is 70+ years old. It's was built in the 50s. This council has inherited this problem. This plant probably should have been replaced, 20, 25 years ago. But there hasn't been money for it. So we're just happen to be sitting in these seats at this time. So this is not an easy decision, but I think we've got to move forward with the most prudent thing for Greenfield. So.
We've been talking about this for, well, probably about 2 years now. And at first it was just, general talk, and now we realize that, it's an urgent matter. And as other council members have said, that we don't take this lightly. We have no interest in postponing the rec center or stopping people from having homes. That is something that we don't want to do, but we have to protect the people that are currently living here right now. And I think that has to be our priority. And so, like everybody else said, we're not taking this lightly. We've discussed this for a long time already. We've gone out, we've done our work, we've gone out to go look at the center. We've asked a lot of questions. Maybe when we're up here, we don't ask a lot, but believe me, behind the scenes, we're asking a lot of questions. And staff has been working with us to answer those for us. So that's
We've been working for over 5 years on this project, so it's not something that's brand new. All right, any other questions or comments?
And it is a temporary. We're not
Say
saying
6
it's
months.
forever. Greenfield will never grow or permit anything forever and ever. We're not
6
saying that.
months. But yeah, if the state drops nice $100 million check on us, we will be able to look at things and maybe have some other options. So I entertain a motion on this item.
Because this is an ordinance adoption, I'll read the proposed motion.
Go ahead.
I move to adopt ordinance number 575, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Greenfield establishing a temporary moratorium on the issuance of building permits requiring a new wastewater connection or that will result in increased wastewater flow to the City of Greenfield wastewater treatment plant.
I motion that.
second.
Been motioned and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much, ladies. We'll move to K2, resolution of the City Council, City of Greenfield, authorizing the Greenfield Chamber of Commerce to use elements of the city logos and seal in the chamber branding. Staff report, please.
I'm going to recuse myself.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor White and City Council. The Heart of the Valley Chamber of Commerce submitted a proposed logo design that incorporates elements derived from both the City of Greenfield's official seal and its logo. The municipal code says that the city seal and logos are restricted for use solely by the city and its departments. So if another organization wants to use components of the seal or logo, that needs to be approved by the City Council. So tonight's item is just that, approving the Heart of the Valley Chamber of Commerce logo. We do recommend that as a part of that approval, you include some restrictions, which are authorization applies only to the specific logo design that's been submitted by the chamber, that the city retains approval rights over final logo design or any future modifications, that the authorization is non-transferable and applies only to the chamber. The city reserves the right to revoke authorization, and the chamber cannot license or sub-license the authorized logo elements to third parties. And with that, I can answer any questions you might have.
All right, we'll open this up to public comment on item K2.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, Cynthia Zavala. I'm here on behalf of the Heart of the Valley Chamber of Commerce to respectfully request the City Council's approval to use select elements from the City of Greenfield's official logo and seal in our chamber branding. As part of our mission to promote the local business community and strengthen ties with the city, we've developed a proposed logo that incorporates elements that highlight our shared identity, celebrate our region's agricultural heritage, and reinforce Greenfield's unique character. We believe this collaboration branding effort will help create a strong visual connection between the chamber and the city and our business community. We greatly appreciate your consideration and hope you'll agree that this partnership supports our shared goals for the Greenfield community. I don't know if you guys have our logo, but we wanted to incorporate, I wanted to incorporate the broccoli personally. I really wanted the broccoli on there. Vineyards, of course, we're surrounded by beautiful vineyards and the historic El Camino Real bell. I don't know if you guys want to add anything.
Do you have a logo?
It's.
Yeah, it's the one.
It's in my notes.
It's in the packet.
Thank you.
I just want to mention that we put a lot of thought into this to make it different yet similar, because I mean, we're Greenfield, we all have the same elements to look at here, guys. So the vineyards, the grapes, the heart as the sun in the background. And if you look at all three of them, you can see that it is distinct. It's more colorful, and it is definitely a distinct logo from what you currently have.
I just want to comment, I really like it. I mean, I love the heart being there, the sun right between the mountains. It's great. So.
One more thing, we have shared it with members of the community and the business community, and we've received nothing but positive response.
Goes well with, the our motto, and it goes well with the, just your name, and it fits everything, all fits together there.
No googly eyes on the broccoli, huh? Mr. Broccoli. I love it. I mean, my heart just goes, isn't it cute?
I know Stephanie really wanted the heart, so we wanted to include a heart in there because we are part of the Valley
Chamber of Commerce.
Chamber of Commerce, yes.
Yes. Yes, love it.
Any other public comments? Any questions from council?
Just comment, it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
All right, I'll entertain a motion on item K2.
Go ahead.
Motion to approve.
I second that.
Been moved and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved.
Good job, ladies. Make sure I need the mug, okay?
Yeah, I want a patch too. Start come back to you guys.
We'll move to K3, a resolution of the City Council, City of Greenfield awarding a purchasing contract for a detective vehicle to Toyota of San Luis Obispo. Staff report, please.
Good evening, Mayor White, City Council members. Andrew Paredes from Police Department. Background: detectives investigate violent crimes, sexual assault, missing persons, and sensitive interviews. Require immediate, discreet, and unmarked transportations. Support interagencies operation, evidence transport, and court attendance. Improves response time and investigative capabilities. On July 16th, 2025, request for bid was issued for a 2025 Toyota Grand Highlander Hybrid AWD or equal. One bid was received from Toyota of San Luis Obispo for $59,146.57. The fiscal impact, no cost to general fund. It's funded through the DOJ asset forfeiture previously appropriated. I recommend a motion to award the contract to Toyota of San Luis Obispo. I move to adopt a resolution 2025-77, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Greenfield awarding a purchasing contract for a detective vehicle from Toyota of San Luis Obispo.
Great. Any public comments on K3? Seeing none. Council, any questions or comments?
Can I ride in it?
Yes, ma'am.
And as you said, this is coming from, not from general fund, this is coming from
As support for money that was
future money.
given to us from the federal government.
Entertain a motion.
Second.
Then motion and second for approval. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Have your new vehicle.
Thank you.
Thank you. K4, a resolution of the City Council, City of Greenfield, establishing the position of Community Engagement Manager and amending the salary schedule for the non-represented employees and appointing the current Community Engagement Coordinator to that position. Staff report, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As the city of Greenfield continues to prioritize inclusive public engagement and holistic community support, the need for a dedicated leadership position within the Community Engagement Department has become very evident. The city's current Community Engagement Coordinator has effectively developed and expanded outreach strategies and community programs that go far beyond traditional communication roles. In response to the evolving scope and critical role of the department, staff recommends the establishment of a Community Engagement Manager position to reflect the comprehensive nature of this leadership role, which now includes program oversight, community partnerships, interdepartmental collaboration, and strategic planning. This position will report directly to the city manager and assume full administrative responsibility for operations, planning, staffing, budgeting, and policy implementation of the city's Community Engagement Department. Its classification has been reviewed and aligned with similar roles in comparable jurisdictions, has been included in the fiscal year 25-26 budget with no additional appropriation required. The salary range is listed in the staff report. It runs step 1 is $43.42 an hour, and it goes up to step 6, $55.42 an hour. Currently, the person that we're proposing to appoint, Fabiola Lopez, her current salary rate is step 6 of the coordinator position. It's $37.77 per hour. The promotion to the manager position equates to a 15% salary increase. A normal gap between the top step of a coordinator position and a management position, step 1, is 15%. So she's not at the top step at this point in the coordinator position. So we believe it's a prudent increase amount. In alignment with the establishment of the manager position, we are pleased to announce the promotion of Fabiola Lopez, who currently serves as the Community Engagement Coordinator. She's consistently demonstrated strong leadership, innovation, and a deep commitment to community-focused service. Under her direction, the Community Engagement Department has expanded its program offerings, strengthened partnerships with local organizations, increased youth and senior engagement, and secured a significant amount of grant funding to support citywide initiatives. Key accomplishments include implementing the foundational structure for the whole department, establishing an active and growing youth council at the high school level, fostering civic engagement and leadership development among local youth, developing a successful internship program that supports local youth with employment training and just how to interact with us old people, not you old people, me and Bob, old people. More than 48 young adults have been served so far as interns in City Hall. Building active partnerships to bring senior programs to Greenfield that support mental, emotional, and physical well-being for senior residents. Securing this staff report was done over a month ago, $3.5 million that came in that she wrote grants for, including deposit assistance programs in the wake of COVID, emergency shelter program in the wake of COVID, and supporting the acquisition of funds for the citywide backup generator program which is a very highly leveraged program that has already brought over $1 million worth of backup generators to Greenfield. The promotion acknowledges her significant contributions and affirms her continued leadership in advancing inclusive, high-impact engagement strategies that benefit all residents. I'll add one more thing. We just got notified 2 weeks ago, I think, from ICMA, the International City Management Association, that we would be receiving a $300,000 grant to basically help pay for a position in community engagement, basically, that would help residents, young adults of ours, kind of move up the ladder. So it's kind of like an internship program, but really helping them get to the next level. I mean, specifically get to the next level. So, gosh, the impact of this is, at least for 3 years, will be paying for itself. We don't intend to use the whole amount on this program, but what we hope to do is use a portion of it, as well as invest in community engagements to make it sustainable and to develop sustainable revenues so that we continue providing these services. So in conclusion, establishing the community engagement manager position reflects the City of Greenfield's continued investment in public trust, civic participation, and community well-being. Promoting Fabiola to this newly defined role ensures consistent leadership and reinforces our commitment to delivering meaningful, responsive programs that help all residents thrive. And that's my staff report.
All right, very good, thank you. I'll entertain public comments on item K4.
Stephanie Garcia, 394 Thorpe Avenue, speaking as a resident. I just want to say I'm in full support of this promotion. It is so well deserved. I've had the opportunity to work directly with Fabiola for the Harvest Festival, and she's always been supported. I've watched her flourish in this position. I believe that, there's different words for role model, and I think she fits many of them. For example, she's a mentor. She's mentoring the youth council and the interns, I believe. Whoop, I lost my own screenshot. Oh, dear God. Okay. An inspiration. She's very inspiring. She's a guide. And she is a positive influence for our youth. She's a leader and a beacon. I remember during COVID that you guys were out there helping the homeless, delivering care packages and masks and whatever seems to be going on in the city, she's there. She does a great job. These senior socials are amazing. People from all over come to our socials. So I think this is well deserved, and I hope you support it.
Thank you. Anyone else in chambers? I do see one hand raised.
Elizabeth?
Go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, I urge the city council to reconsider granting the 15 to 16% raise plus retroactive pay of approximately $9,772.20 for both positions that are going to be brought up today. These positions have not reached their top step and have already received multiple promotions and COLA increases in recent years. Meanwhile, other employees face furloughs, halted step increases, and cuts to public services. If the goal is to save money, why are we still paying an outside grant agency? Cutting that expense would save far more. Other cities operate with fewer positions. Soledad has one community engagement role, and City of Kings has one parks coordinator with no manager or supervisors. Yet we have added new staff and are proposing roughly 31.8% in promotion pay for 2 positions. What's the point of promoting right now if the budget is bad? And those 2 positions still have step increases to look forward to. The city faces other major priorities, including likely water bill increases for residents due to treatment plant repairs and halted improvements from lack of funds. These raises are not fair and physically responsible or transparent, especially when other promotions this fiscal year have yet not been brought up to council's attention. This is not about the employees themselves, but about fairness, transparency, and making decisions sustainable for our community. I also want to thank City Council Member Rodriguez for being observant and recognizing the unfairness of granting large raises to only 2 individuals, sneaking them into the new fiscal year and claiming no financial impact, especially when we just entered a new resolution for future building improvements. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Any other comments?
Fabian?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, good evening, council member, city manager, mayor. Braulio Fabian, speaking as a resident of the city. I just wanted to speak up and give my support to this item, Fabiola's promotion. I think it's very well deserved. I've gotten to know Fabiola for a bit over 3 years. I came in as the first intern for the city. She really took me under her wing and has helped me develop into the person that I am today. I was able to come back to community engagement. That's where my passion, I believe, is helping the community, and none of it would have been possible without Fabiola, without her opening her doors and allowing me to come in and learn what it is to be a good community member, what it is to care for your community and bring resources to your community. She did obtain a grant that would cover her salary for the next 3 years, so there would not be any impact on the budget. I just think it's very well deserved. She's a great person from professional level to a personal level, and I think she'll continue bringing on new resources and new ideas to Greenfield residents.
Thank you very much for your comments. Do we have anyone else? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to council for comments, review, and action.
I had a question, Paul. The grant, is that only for salary base? Is that what it is? Or the grant could be used for anything?
No, I think, I'm sorry, it is not only for salary. It is for a program that I hopefully described, but they suggest that you can use it for the one position.
Is the job description changing?
Job description will be, no, it's gonna be the same. Yeah, because she's already kind of doing what the grant is asking for with the internship program. So there will be some slight changes.
For 15%, slight changes is a little.
Well, she's doing more public outreach and partnerships. You're just talking about the grant itself. There'll be slight changes to the job description, but she'll be doing more public outreach to other regional community engagement things, as well as social media.
Right, just so you know, I have requested more for student space, more for younger kids, and I haven't seen anything. So for me to say 15% for work that hasn't even been performed that I've requested, it's hard. Especially because I understand that the money is set for budgeted for something else, obviously, since it's a grant, but 15%, again, you could do more in that capacity, in that grant. So that's my thought.
Any other questions or comments?
Yeah,
council?
Did you have something to say?
I had just a few. Okay. So she's moving from coordinator to manager. I assume there's more responsibility in that position?
Yes, there's more responsibility. There will be more outreach to coordinate other community engagement programs in the valley, as well as more involvement in social media and coordinating our efforts citywide in the social media space.
Okay. And the coordinator position that she's in. We are not backfilling that position. We're not hiring anybody for that position.
We're not, no.
You mentioned in total, she's obtained about 3.5 million
Three and a
more or
half,
less.
yeah, 3.8 now, I think.
And will she be moving into be taking part in your meetings as far as being an administrator rather than a coordinator, correct?
Yes, and she already is doing that.
Okay. Councilwoman?
Thank you for asking the question that I wanted to know about the not backfilling. So it's not like we're taking money from another department or asking people to cut so that we could do this. And the idea with the grant is to use it in such a way, this grant can last us for 3 years. So it's, and the idea is to use this grant in such a way that in 3 years, possibly it can find some way to sustain itself or expand it.
Find other ways to raise money so the programs that she's offering can continue.
And she's found up 3 million already in grants through her time. So possibly continue finding more millions. I think that was my biggest question, is that we're not taking money from somebody else to fill this position, nor are we gonna add another person to. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
I talk about money all day long, so I'm not going to talk about money right now. Okay? But I did want to say that we never had these things before in our city, so you're doing a tremendous job. I think that people need to be rewarded and promoted for a job well done. I've mentioned before, I work for a lot of different companies and I see a lot of people who don't work and get paid a lot of money. You're doing a really good job for our community, especially for our seniors and for the intern program. I've talked to some of the interns that you've mentored and they all speak very highly of you. They are all going on to do really great things, and that's what we need to do for our community. So, you know, I know there's a lot of questions about money and what you're going to do, but I have faith that you're going to do even more for our community. You know, as a council member, we're trying to do all we can by, you know, being out there in the public and bringing more resources to our city and bringing more attention to our city. And in doing that, we have to have somebody here that can handle that and work with these different nonprofits and other community members that, you know, want to come here. So I just want to thank you and keep up the good work. And there's going to be a lot more work. And I know that you'll take care of it.
Yeah, and I just want to echo what you just said. I see a lot of these people at the various events and things, and I hear nothing but glowing remarks about Meals on Wheels and the senior social, the food bank, the intern program. So you're doing a great job. So I'm totally in favor of making this work.
Yeah, we hear for a lot of years, we heard a lot of negative about our city. And now, I mean, people are reaching out to us to become part. I mean, this year we've got so many things coming in and it's kind of like we're juggling everything, but we're getting it done. But we're making a name for ourselves. We have our Heart of the Valley Chamber of Commerce now. The Veterans Hall is really doing great over there. They have a lounge now, bringing in parade. You know, we just have so many things happening. And, you know, we have the Day of Thanks, which feeds, you know, hopefully over 800 people this year. And so we're bringing all these people in and I think, you know, we're making a better name for ourselves and for our community.
Right, I'll entertain a motion on resolution 2025-78.
So move, Mayor.
Move to approve.
Move to approve. Second.
Then moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Right, we'll move to K5. A resolution, City Council, City of Greenfield establishing position of Parks and Recreation Director and amending the salary schedule for their non-represented employees and promotion of Recreation Manager to Director position. Staff report, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this resolution is to create the position of Parks and Recreation Director at the department head level, and to acknowledge and support the promotion of current Recreation Manager Jesus Perez to that position. For the past several years, Greenfield has experienced significant growth in population and community demand for high-quality parks, open spaces, and recreational programming. The Recreation Division has expanded its offerings for youth, adults, and seniors, while also initiating capital improvement projects in our park system and expanding seasonal and special events. Jesus was hired, I think, right before me, right around the same time I was hired, by the former city manager, because Greenfield didn't have a recreation department. And I think we had, they hired you to do soccer program?
So in my previous employment, I was running the soccer program for a nonprofit. And when I was given the opportunity to come on board with the city, I was asked, it's not just about soccer, we need a lot of other services, a lot of other programs, for all different, youth of different ages, not just youth, but adults, seniors. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I was rocking.
Thank you.
I was given that.
So as part of the city's long-term strategic plan and fiscal year 25-26 organizational review, we identified the need for a dedicated leadership role to oversee not only the recreation services, but also long-range planning, capital improvement planning, interagency coordination, parks operations, and grant management. Our parks at this point, and just a matter of the way that we've done things, is managed by Public Works. It resides there. It's mostly a maintenance thing, and that's great. Our parks need to be maintained as well. But the proposed Parks and Rec director position will formalize the responsibilities at a department head level and enable stronger leadership, fiscal oversight, and alignment with city council priorities related to community health, livability, and open space management, which is really about programs within the parks, the structures within the parks, what to do with open space in the park, putting a Boys and Girls Club there, putting other things in places that make sense. Parks and Rec director will report directly to the city manager. They'll be in charge of oversight of all rec programs, direction and management of park operations and improvement projects, coordinations with schools, community organizations, and funding agencies, development and implementation of a Parks and Rec master plan, and leadership in grant acquisition and capital project delivery. The current position, let's see, Mr. Perez's current salary is at step 6 of the recreation manager, $52.47 an hour. The promotion to director with the expanded scope of directing a parks program that includes ADA as well as play structures and making sure that we're all squared away there, equates to 16.8% salary increase. A normal gap between the top step of a manager and a director is 15%. Once again, he's at step 6. Our top step is step 8. So considering he's not currently at top step manager, it's a prudent increase amount. Since he's joined the city's recreation manager in 2018, he's successfully expanded programming, secured external funding, and built strong community relationships. Key accomplishments include leading the design and implementation of a new youth and senior programming, coordinating successful citywide events and recreational partnerships, most notably the annual 4th of July celebration, the annual Christmas in the Park event, and the spring and summer weekly market at the gazebo. Securing grant awards for park improvements and staff support, playing a critical role in securing the $8.5 million California Parks grant for the new rec center, recently completing application for additional $6 million Parks grant for the new rec center. He's been personally responsible for the development of virtually all the recreation programs for the last 7 years. increasing program participation over the past 7 years, attending parks management educational courses to facilitate his directing the parks program, and working with outside consultants in developing an overall park strategic plan. In conclusion, we hope that you agree that establishing the position reflects the city's commitment to investing in the quality of life, community wellness, and strategic management of public amenities, and that the promotion of Jesus will provide continuity, leadership, and innovation as the city continues to grow and evolve. And that is the end of my staff report. Don't have any questions.
Very good. I will open up K5 for public comments.
Hello again. As a resident, I just want to say I'm also in support of this promotion of, I like Jesus too. I've had the opportunity to work with him Christmas in the Park when I was president of Little League. I know I drove him crazy over the field conditions, but he is so great to work with. I was on the VW committee, which was a tax measure that established his position actually. And he has done so much since then. I mean, we have flag football, we have junior giants, we have classes for the seniors, Zumba, although I said pickleball, we need pickleball still. I mean, he really, I admire him. And it's not a 9-to-5 position. I can attest to that because I had to call him on the weekend when there were holes in the field, and he's so responsive and he's done a great job. And we need to remember that 7 years ago, we didn't have this. What we did have was a lot of people coming up here complaining that there was nothing for the kids to do. And now there is so much. There's arts, there's dance, there's cooking, there's sports. And Jesus has really worked hard to establish that. And I hope you support this. And both of them too, I want to mention, have such a calm demeanor. I really admire that. I think that's great.
Right. Any other public comment? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to council for review, comments, and action.
I just have a comment. It was about time that we had the parks and rec in one area. So thank you, Jesus, for doing a wonderful job. Paul, just a question for you. Are we separating then staff, one that will fall under Jesus from the public works, or how are we going to do that?
Well, so what's going to happen is the Public Works will still maintain everything, and the whole budget falls under Public Works for that. Jesus will have a significant amount of input into things like watering and making sure that we got this here and kind of the organization of it all. I would imagine, I mean, things are looking, I think, a lot better than they have. So I think we're going to leave well enough alone as much as we can. But since he's a representative in the Parks and Rec Commission, now we have a Parks and Rec Director. Anything that goes through that commission as far as questions or requests, he'll take directly to them. And I know he's already working with he's already worked with a couple of people related to play structures and a replacement program. And so that goes through him. So really the maintenance part is kind of staying the same, and it's going to be budgeted the same.
Questions, comments?
Comment is that we want Greenfield to grow, and it's been growing. And it takes more than a village to raise this city. It takes a lot of resources, it takes a lot of ideas, it takes a lot of teamwork. And I know when I was out and about a year ago talking to people, we need more, we need more, we need more. That's never going to end. We always need more. My TV was 55, then it became 60, now it's 70. We always need more. And in order to do that, then we need to have more qualified people running at a higher level and standard. And I think we can find that, and I think we have. So the fact that we don't have to go look for this person, they're right here, and they have already an understanding and a commitment to the community. That's a plus, in my opinion. And there's nothing to say he's not going to be watched either. I mean, he's got an entire city watching over him. But as far as the people out there that have been asking for more and more and more, Stephanie Garcia, you are correct that every time I look on that Facebook, there is so much I missed. I didn't go on that trip, or the Whitewater or the Real Sick. I mean, there are events that I never even thought that would even be happening in Greenfield. So, and that's just the beginning, I think, of more to come.
Everything they said, okay. We do have some, the science workshop, what you're doing, what Fabio is doing, it's really great. I only have one question. Can we do a drone show instead of those loud fireworks?
No, well, that's actually something that we kind of discussed.
I was in Seattle 2 weeks ago and they had a drone show at the stadium. Wow. I was like, and it was so many people, something new,
Yeah, from my
Just a fun.
personal perspective,
Yeah.
I think they're awesome. I think it's like less liability, potential liability. And if that's the direction that, oh, can you all hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I think that if something that, we can put out there to the public as an option, maybe we survey the public, maybe we do a public meeting before as we get closer to the 4th of July and talk about the benefits of a drone show, what it would look like, how cool fireworks shows are, but also, talk about the benefits of it and that the not so, the high liability potential fire stuff that can come with it and how expensive they are.
Yeah.
But I think we can definitely look into it. And I believe that, if we let the community know that we want to transition into that, then we can let them help us decide going that route. Because yes, it is less expensive and it's just as awesome.
Well, see, this is what I like, because you don't say no, you just say, well, think about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't like when people tell me no, I'm just like, it's not an answer for me.
Yeah, I just think that a lot of times I think that if we do things without consulting the community,
Yes.
then they can get upset at us because that's not the popular thing to do.
I think you're doing a really good job. I'm sure there's more things that we can bring. I was reading this paperwork that I received today about a new nonprofit in Salinas, and they were talking about their goals for the year. And everything was kind of centered around the people that they were going to hire to get these things done. Obviously, fundraising was number one, but secondly, it was about bringing in the people that could take this nonprofit to another level. And you're proving to me that you're taking us to another level in this city. And so I just wanted to thank you for that.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Just gotta ask my money questions. Yeah. Same question, will we be backfilling the position? And the more responsibility? So.
Yeah, more responsibility, not backfilling the position. And we're looking, actually, right now, we're looking at I'm not just gonna say a financial change that could accrue close to $200,000 worth of savings, but at an expense of around 90,000 that would be recurring year after year. Don't know if it's gonna work, but Jesus and I are looking at it right now.
Okay.
That would more than pay for this. And we want to reward that. And I think anybody that's going to bring solutions like this to the table deserves to be considered. That those are the leaders we need.
Well, I know, and I just want to also comment that, 7 years ago, we didn't have a rec program. I mean, there was nothing there. So, now the rec program and our community outreach are two of our shining stars that, I get positive comments on those all the time. So, totally in favor of this. So, any questions? I will entertain a motion on 2025-79.
I motion that.
You good? Second.
Then motion and second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Well deserved.
All right, K6, a resolution, City Council, City of Greenfield approving a request to supplementally appropriate Public Works Capital Improvement Project budgets from fiscal year 2024-25 to fiscal year 2025-26 for a total of $3,236,844.87 and the year 2025-26 for a total of $62,062.67. Staff report.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. As you know, we tend to do this on an annual basis. The 25-26 budget was adopted in the end of June, and we can't always forecast where a project is going to be well in advance of that. So even though we put the budget in place for the year, the planning and project execution is not an exact practice, so there's a little bit of shifting. The city faces many challenges, including lack of staff and overabundance of development that consumes more staff time than planned for. And to get projects back on track, staff is requesting to supplementally appropriate capital improvement project budget funds and grant funding that were not expended in fiscal year 24-25 over to fiscal year 25-26. You'll see there's two tables in the staff report. One is for capital improvement projects. The other is for grant funds. So we have a handful of capital improvement projects where we did not expend the amount of money that we thought we were going to last fiscal year. Projects are not complete, so they need to roll over. One is the Walnut Avenue pedestrian plan, the new wastewater treatment plant design, the traffic study, 3-year street rehabilitation, a dog park, and radio tower improvements. So that money was all in last fiscal year that you see to the right. And that was the amount that was not expended. So for the capital improvement projects, that's just a little bit over $3 million. Previously budgeted, it doesn't impact the new funding, or we're not asking for the money. We're asking to move that over to this fiscal year. And then there's also 2 grants, one with the Youth Service Corps internship program, and the other one is the STEP grant. And so those did not get completely expended last year, and we're just asking council to move it over by supplemental appropriating the money from last year to this year. So there isn't really an actual budget impact because that money's already allocated for in this last fiscal year. I do want to point out that I had one typo under grant funds next to the STEP grant. That account number should start with 201, not 202. So if council chooses to approve this, if they could approve that with that change, that would be appreciated. And I'd like to take any questions.
I'll open up for public comments first. Any public comments on K6? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to council. Any questions?
What is the Youth Service Corps internship program? That's you? Oh, that's your program. Okay.
Yeah, we just tried to include everything into one staff report.
So this is just more of a money move from one year to the other.
Exactly.
All right. I'll entertain a motion on resolution 2025-80.
I move to approve.
Motion, do I have a second?
Go ahead.
Second.
Motion and second, and all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
A resolution, City Council, City of Greenfield supplementing appropriating $40,772.72 for fiscal year 2024-25 and $565,912.90 for fiscal year 2025-26 for the citywide generator project. Staff report.
Good evening again. Back in September of 2024, City Council did award a contract to mission critical specialists for procuring and installing the 9 standby generators, transfer switches, concrete pads, and appurtenances, as well as to connect existing generator from the police department to the Civic Center. Upon reconciliation of the fiscal year 24-25 capital improvement project fund for this project, it was discovered that the September 2024 staff report did not appropriately supplemental appropriate the contract amount of $950,943.58. So this staff report is to rectify the fiscal expenditures for last fiscal year, and then to appropriate the remainder for this fiscal year. The amount requested for the supplemental appropriation is funded via a grant to the city from Cal OES Hazard Mitigation Grant Program. The contract for mission critical specialists was $959,000 and change, with a contingency of $95,929, and construction management with M&S not to exceed $32,900. So we have a total construction budget with those items of $1,088,000 and change, and the grant funding award at $1,064,000. I can say that we will not be getting near the $32,900 for M&S, so that will equilibrium out and probably be right in that grant funding. The 24-25 fiscal year reconciliation, we had an expenditure of $137,210.06. The funding that was actually funded via that staff report in September was $96,438. Again, this wasn't discovered, the mistake wasn't discovered till it was reconciliated. So there was a deficiency of $40,772.06. And so we're asking council to supplementally appropriate that amount to last fiscal year to clear that out. And then the budget reconciliation for this fiscal year, we had budgeted the $385,000. We were also really pushing to get the generators on site before June 30th. They came the week after. So we're not able to invoice for last fiscal year. So the $385,000 is not enough. So the deficiency is $565,912.90 to bring that back to where it needs to be. Again, all but $106,000 of the $1,064,000 is reimbursable.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Please.
That was a lot of numbers.
I know.
Right. How different is this than the one we just did? I mean, I know it's all one project and there's lots of moving parts.
Right. This is different. Well, because we had to supplement, I'm asking to supplementally appropriate to last fiscal year.
Okay.
And as well as this fiscal year. And so to keep it not as convoluted, where this one was just moving money from the first staff report was moving money from fiscal year 24-25 that was not expended over to this fiscal year.
Okay.
Whereas for the generator project, we're asking to supplemental appropriate both fiscal years.
So last fiscal year, I get it. We didn't appropriate enough for what we actually did last year.
Yes, I thought I did.
Okay.
But it was, I had apparently written it incorrectly in the staff report in September.
And
Yes.
then this year, so why the big amount this year? Because that should just be in the regular budget.
Right, so what I had thought I had appropriated last fiscal year was the 959,000. I mean, really $1 million minus what we thought would be 385 for this year. That was my mistake. The verbiage that I used did not actually appropriate that amount. It only appropriated 95,000 and change, or 96,000 and change.
Okay.
So it was a verbiage issue. So the intent was that it would be appropriated, and it wasn't brought to my attention until we processed invoices that it wasn't moved over because of the verbiage.
Okay. So, and how much of this is general fund money?
So this is coming out of grants.
Okay.
The the 385,000 that's already budgeted for this year, the 106,000 is in that amount.
And that's general fund money?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'd have to go back and look at my
Okay, and everything else is
my
grant?
ClearGov.
is grant
Everything
money?
else is grant
Everything else.
reimbursable.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Mhm.
I will open this up for public comments. Seeing none, I'll bring it back to council. So the majority, the $1 million is coming from grants, correct? Our portion of this is around $100,000 more.
106.
Yeah.
Ish.
In order to get the, however many generators it is.
$1 million, yes.
Okay. So this is more of a book movement than anything else, is that correct?
Yes, although there is a supplemental appropriation for last year.
Yes. So that would affect last year's final numbers for
Year-end.
our budgeting. And that's the $40,772.06.
But it doesn't affect substantially the total cost, correct, of the
No.
project?
No,
Okay. All right.
I have a question I don't understand, so.
I wish I had a
will ask.
whiteboard.
I will ask. I'm
Whiteboard.
looking at the little boxes
Mhm.
that say FY 25-26 budget fund reconciliation. Under funded, I see the number, and under deficient funds, I see the number.
Yes.
Does that mean under deficient funds, we don't have that money? Or
So
we-
that money, excuse me, was not budgeted for this fiscal year. Just the 385,000 was budgeted. So I'm asking for a supplemental appropriation of $565,912.90.
it's a budget problem. We didn't budget enough. In this fiscal year, when we
Mhm.
passed the budget, we should have had around $1 million. When Jamie said we were hoping to get this by June 30th, we didn't get the invoices until July. Well, we'd already done the budget by July, and we had expected, we were hoping we'd have everything so that we could have it classified as expended in 24-25. Didn't happen that way, so now we kind of have to move the budget, and it's all grant monies. We're not paying anything more than what we've ever
Okay.
planned on paying.
Okay,
It's a bookkeeping entry moving between years.
okay, I was just wondering,
Sure.
who's coming
No,
out of
that's
my
it.
wallet?
Yeah.
I know this one was a very confusing one and I
There's a lot of
apologize.
Money involved. so-
There's a lot of-
And it's, yeah,
Only a half.
Yep, you want to be clear.
Should have probably did like a little.
as I said, oh, I wish I had a whiteboard here.
Arrows down there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions, comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion on resolution 2025-81. And don't forget to do as. is that-
Correct, good.
Yeah.
202 to 201. Is that right? Correct, the 202 to 201? The number,
Yes. Please.
What I just said.
Oh, that was on the last one, actually. I'm sorry.
That was on prior.
Yes.
Never mind.
So we have a motion? Motion to approve.
So moved.
Need a second?
Aye.
Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed? Motion passes. We will
Thank you.
now adjourn to closed session.
Yes, council will meet in closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6. Conference with labor negotiators. Agency designated representative is City Manager Paul Wood, and the employee organization is International Union of Operating Engineers, Local Number 3.
All right.
We call for public comment, please.
Any public comments on closed session?
There we go. Yeah, really crazy with that.
Wow. Seeing none, we've not.
Oh, do you miss us?
Call the meeting back to order. There was no action taken in closed session. City attorney reports,
I have nothing to report.
city manager report.
Nothing to report.
All right. At this point, I'd like to observe a moment of silence for the family of former Councilwoman Yaneli Martinez, whose grandmother passed away August the 7th, just a few weeks short of her age 100. So. Meeting adjourned.